Hello, 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 my loves. I hope you all are well. I'm giving everyone a couple minutes. This is our first day. Good morning, Valerie. Glad to quote unquote see you. My messy desk. Oh my goodness. I'll give everybody about 1 or 2 more minutes and then we'll get started. I try to clean my desk every time I finish creating, and it just doesn't work. So I've just given up. It's clean enough. And I'm just going to make it a big mess anyway. Play with you guys today, so why bother? Okay, it's 3 minutes after. I don't want to keep you waiting. So let's get started. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to I See Me, a year-long jaunt through our art journal. Well, I'm using single sheets and then going to bind it into an art journal at the end. But welcome to the fray. I always like to start any creative session that I have by lighting a candle. And every time that I go to create, it is a ritual for me, just like cafe. And I start my ritual with lighting a candle. The candle for me signifies the light of the divine in the space. So I'm asking the divine to be present in the space with me as I create, manifest whatever is on my soul and heart onto the page. I ask the divine to come into this space and fill this space with divine energy. And whatever the divine means for you, that's what it means for you. Take a moment and just quietly ask for the divine's presence. And now, as you know, I am a certified intentional creativity teacher and coach. And I would like to extend to you the red thread of connection. There is an ancient Chinese proverb that basically says that whomever you meet in your life, you were destined to meet. And that at birth, you were connected to that person by an invisible red thread. We were destined to meet. And I'm glad that we have met and that our paths have crossed and that we are connected by an invisible red thread. I am connected to you as you are connected to me. I am called to this circle as you are called to this circle. I witness your story as you witness my story. We each have a sacred responsibility to our own unique piece of the red thread. May love be the center of all of our choices. Ashe. Okay, loves. Here comes the fun part. Now, I know I sent out this supply list a day or so ago, and of course, the news has changed her mind. So I can't really tell you what's going to happen today or any other time we get together. It just happens. So, yeah, Valerie, you have 3 projects. I won't tell you how many projects I have going on. You know me, girl. This is the watercolor paper that I am using. It's 11 by 15 single sheets. And I'll be using this throughout the whole entire year. I just recently spilled the paint water all over the pages, but that doesn't matter. It'll just add to the character of the page. So I just wanted to see you guys to see the paper that I'm using this year. Well, I use every year, all the time. I love Hanson watercolor paper. It's very sturdy. The other thing that I'm going to do, since I'm going to end up binding this into a journal at the end of the year, that means I'm going to have to punch holes in one of the sides. And I don't want to art across the entire page and then punch holes through the art. What if I put some beading or some modeling paste or something in a spot where a hole needs to be? Then it'll be difficult to make that hole. So to avoid that problem, at the end of the year, I'm going to just take tape and put it around the edge. But because I'm going to put it on one edge and I don't want just one white edge, it's going to look kind of weird to me and set off my OCD. I'm going to put tape around all 4 of my edges. And so all of my pages will be bordered by a white edge. And you can do this. You can put it over all 4 of your edges. You can put it over just the one edge that you're going to poke holes in at the end of the year. Or you don't have to do it at all. It's your journal. You do what is best for you. I hope everybody had a great New Year. I certainly did. And my year came in lovely. All the things that I want for 2021 showed up and showed out. And let's hope they continue throughout the entire year. And I'm just so you know, putting the tape up against the very edge of the paper. I'm not trying to tape it down to the desk or anything like that. I just want to have an even border all around, since I'll be having the border on the one side where I'll poke the hole. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is a new year. We're in our second day of the new year. I hope that you took advantage of the full moon's energy at the end of 2020 to release everything that no longer serves you. And today we're going to do the opposite of releasing. I hope you've already released. Today we're going to concentrate and focus on what you want to call in to you for 2021. What do you want to draw to you? What do you want your year to be? So the first thing that I would like us to do on this nice, pretty blank page is what I call breaking the page, or what is called breaking the page. And the way that I want us to break the page is I want us to write down everything that we want to call into us in 2021. What do you want to focus on? Write your word of the year. If you're one of those who chooses a word or phrase of the year, you can write that down as well, because that's one of the things that I know that you would like to draw into yourself. So let's take about 2 minutes and just write down on this page what we want to draw into ourselves. What do we want our 2021 year to be? And of course, my pen doesn't. It could be due to what I was doing to it last night. It kind of wants to write. There we go. And this doesn't have to be fancy or elaborate. Just right from the heart. Whatever comes, comes. Don't forget to sign it and date it. Put a 1, so 2. And when you have finished, I hope everyone is finished by now. Excuse my fingers, fingernails. Fingernails of an artist. I just want you to put your hands over what you have written and take a moment to close your eyes, breathe, infuse this page with the energy of your words. This is your portal to call forth everything that you've written on this page. Take a moment and really feel the words. And don't forget to breathe. Okay. Now we need our book pages and our Sharpie or whatever marker you have. It doesn't have to be a Sharpie, just as long as it's permanent marker. And before we get started on our creating today, I want us to focus on an inquiry of what we are calling in to ourselves for 2021. That is our focus today when we're creating. That is our intention. However you want to word that intention, the focus and intention of this session is what we are calling into ourselves for 2021. So as we create, keep that in your mind and on your heart, because you want to infuse your artwork with the energy of what you're calling in for 2021. So on our book pages, I don't know how many you'll need. It's up to you. First thing I want you to do is to tear the pages into pieces, not too small because we're going to write on them, but they don't have to be huge either, because we're going to end up collaging them onto our page. So, just random pieces, random sizes, no rhyme or reason. Just as long as they're big enough for you to read them. Like me, I don't like all this white border. So I'm making a bad attempt at trying to get rid of it. You can make as many or as few pieces as you want. But what we're going to do on these pieces is, from our writing on our page, I want us to write down keywords, positive words that you are calling in to your 2021, such as abundance. Of course, I can't fit it on one line, it doesn't matter. And then just set the paper to the side. Whatever you want to call in, draw to yourself for 2021. That's what you're writing on these pieces of paper. Trying to find a piece big enough to write the word that I need to write. Here we are. Need a big one for that. And like I said, as you're writing, just keep in your mind our inquiry, which is, what are we calling into ourselves for 2021? And these words should be in the positive framework. I don't want you writing no more smoking. I'd rather you write clean lungs or something along that line. Just keep the tone and the intention of the words positive. And you may run out of words before you run out of paper. That's fine. After you've written your words down, and if you think of more along the way, you can always pick up your pen, marker, and write more up. Now we are going to collage these onto our page. No certain order. They can be upside down, sideways. It doesn't matter. We're just infusing the energy of what we want to call into ourselves onto our page. They can overlap. I'm using matte medium for this. But you can use any kind of glue that dries clear. Beverly has pen problems. I'm sorry it takes me a little while to get to your comments. I have to get used to this new setup and this new system, which is really weird because on one end it looks like it's not doing anything, and on the other end I see that I'm still live, so that's a good thing. It's just frozen at 37 minutes for some reason on the end that's actually streaming, but I can see on YouTube that I'm still going. So I'm going to keep going. I'm using a silicone brush, spatula, whatever you want to call it, just to spread the glue, or in my case, the matte medium. And because I taped off my ends, trying not to get glue on those or glue over those because I want to take the tape off at the end. With just a little bit of logistics going on. But collage the words down all over your page. Again, no rhyme or reason, just slap them down there. Let them overlap. Let them do what they're going to do. Let them do their thing. And I'm trying to keep most of my sheet in the view of the camera, which is not terribly easy. I have a pretty big sheet that I've chosen, 11 by 15. But it doesn't matter. You don't need to watch me glue paper down. I'm sure you can handle this part. And again, while you are collaging your words on, draw them into you. Think about them. Think about what they mean to you, why you want that in your life for 2021. Make space for them in your life. Let's try to make sure you collage them all well so they don't pucker up off the page. And if they do, just lift up, slap some more glue on it. And get it down. And to collage, so you want pieces to overlap. If you only have a few words, then just take some blank pieces of book page and collage down. You want to try to fill up your whole journal page with collage pieces. Again, try to keep the glue off the tape. So you're going to glue the tape down. Or that, be able to get it off the page and get done. And you don't want that. You want to take it off. Or maybe you don't want to take it off. You don't have to if you don't want to. Your journal. Collage, collage away. Infuse your page with what you want to bring to you in 2021. We cannot forget the ancestors. They did not forget us. Get back up there. Like I said, just make sure your pieces are collaged down well. You don't want them lifting on you and then your art lift off the page because a piece of the paper came off. I'm just using the baby wipe to clean off my spatula, paintbrush, whatever they call this thing. Okay, here's the part that I wish I could cut out, but I can't. But I have to do this in order to keep flowing and get our page done before the end of our time together. Okay, sorry about that. The tape that I'm using, Valerie, the tape that I used just now is just regular masking tape, I believe. I don't know where I put the roll. Okay, I would look at the roll if I could remember where I put it. Here it is. I'm sorry. It just has fasten, FASTEN. But this is, as far as I know, is regular masking tape. I do have some white artist masking tape, which is no different from the masking tape that you can get at the Walmart for a lot less money. So, okay, once you get your page dry or dry enough, because this is totally dry, but it doesn't matter. Let's get some color down. And this may not have been on the supply list. Again, these videos, these live streams are for inspiration for you. And my muse often goes off the beaten path and does what she wants to do. So I try to give you a supply list, but it doesn't mean that that's actually going to happen. She actually wanted to change this whole project totally, but I wouldn't let her because of the things that I had asked you guys to bring with you, car with me. But these are King Art. I forgot what they're called. Gel pen, gel pencils, gel sticks. King Art mixed media gel sticks. And I'm just going to use them right now just to get some color on my page. It doesn't matter, no rhyme or reason. Just get color down. Don't think too much about it. Just do it. Doesn't matter the color, we're just getting some colors down. And these are not colors that you need to use in your final composition. It doesn't matter. Just getting color down. I like these. These are really creamy. And they're mushable. I want to go in. You see that? It was at the bottom of the page. I don't know whether or not you can see that. But see, I can spread them with my fingers if I wanted to. And as a matter of fact, it was very satisfying. So I think I will. Blend the ball with your finger. This is how you art journal. Just make a big mess and have fun. And you don't care. I'm running out of fingers. There we go. Big old mess. Love it. I'm sorry. My box of stencils. But I forgot I already took the stencil out that I want. I have a stencil of a mandala. And that's what I'm going to be using with some modeling paste. So far I'm staying on track so far. I'm using the things that I said in the supply list that I will be using. It's pretty good for me. I like gelatos too, but gelatos are a lot more expensive than that King Art, the King Art brand, which are, in my opinion, just as good. This came in one box, so it says 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So it's 24 that came in a box, and it was very inexpensive. And they're larger than the gelatos. So I would say that they probably would last a little longer. Just makes sense since they're larger. Oh, I was gonna get a pebble knife, but I can use this. So this is Liquitex modeling paste. And I'm just going to put it on my page through the stencil in various places. I'm not trying to get a complete imprint of this stencil, or at least not here in this corner. So with your stencil, you can put some shapes and designs onto your page, like I'm doing, in various places. It doesn't have to be the whole stencil unless that's what you want. Totally up to you how you want to stencil it out, dude. Every now and then I have to glance up at the camera, make sure I'm still in the frame and you can see what I'm doing. If you see me pause in the middle of creating, that's because I'm making sure you guys can see me. It's a large piece of paper, and not all of it is always in frame. Now you can put the stencil in as many places as you want. I suggest at least 3, but go for what your gut tells you. Follow your gut, follow your intuition, your instincts. Listen to your intention as you're creating. Okay, I need to step away just for one moment so I can clean my stencil off. I don't want this modeling paste to dry on my stencil. Whoopsie. Of course, that's why I cleaned off my desk so I wouldn't have those problems. But so I will be back in 1 sec. Just let me rinse this stencil off real quick so the modeling paste doesn't dry on it. It gives you time to finish your stencil. Blessed to have a water source a couple of steps away. Okay, so we have to go into the torture chamber again. Sorry, guys. But I have to dry this so we can go on to the next step. I apologize for the noise in advance. I don't know if you guys can hear me over the dryer, but I do apologize for this part. But I don't want to not use fun stuff like modeling paste in my live just because I have to dry it. This also gives you guys time to get your pages in order and maybe catch up if you've fallen a little bit behind because you don't know what I'm going to do. So you have to wait to see what I'm going to do before you can do it for yourself. I in no way think that this modeling paste is all the way dry, but it is dry enough for what I need to do next. And you see how my page is buckling and wrinkling? That doesn't matter because in the end, it's going to get binded into a book and that'll help flatten it out. And you can always, once everything is completely dry, you can sit some heavy books on top of it and just flatten it out. But yeah, I just want to make sure it's dry enough. Okay, so I'm going to take a dry brush. Find one that I want to use first. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Absolutely dry brush out of my brush pail. And I'm using some Mars Black acrylic paint. This happens to be heavy body. It doesn't have to be heavy body paint. You can use fluid paint. And this is just black on a dry brush. And I want the brush to be dry. I don't want a lot of paint on the brush. at all. So I'm just brushing it off onto this scrapbook page right here. That's because I don't want a lot of paint. And I'm just brushing some over top of the modeling paste. And I'm not even trying to cover the whole thing. You can even just do little areas like I'm doing. You don't even have to do the whole thing. It's all up to you. Again, very dry brush. And I'm just laying some black paint down. In some areas. And leaving some areas completely alone. And you will see why I'm doing it this way in a minute. In a few minutes. Looks like I took too much paint off that time. This will all make sense to you in a few minutes. Oh. And now I'm just going to just bring some black paint into the composition since I have it on my modeling paste. No rhyme or reason. As you see, I don't care that some of the words are getting covered up. That's fine because they are being infused into this piece of artwork. My intentions. And now the same thing with some white paint. Well, a similar thing. How about I say that? With the white, I'm going to do something slightly different. Clean, dry brush. I don't think I've ever used this brush before. It feels a little weird. Again, you don't have to have heavy body paint. I just happen to be working on a project that called for heavy body paint, so that's what I have on my desk. And I'm just randomly putting the white paint on to the page. Try not to cover up all of the black or all of the colors or all of the words. But if you do, that's fine too. And um, the reason I'm putting white on more than anything is because that helps makes the page more cohesive, but it also gives us a spot to journal. Who says journaling has to be linear on lines, straight up and down the page? Nobody. But at the same time, I'm not trying to cover up all the color that I laid down first. All right. I apologize. A little bit of torture time again. All righty. Here comes the real fun. I got these beauties right here, which you can't really see because they're off camera. These are all Art Alchemy Opal Magic acrylic paints. And I've gotten, I don't know how many colors Spinnabar has, but I have 5 of them here. And they're called Opal Magic for a very specific reason that I'm about to show you, if you don't already know. I've been dying to use these since I got them. And I haven't. I've waited for this very moment. I don't know why she has these awkward tags on here, but they need to go. Okay, so let's choose a color that we kind of have already in. I mean, that's more of a blue and this is more of a teal, but still, this one is, if I can find the color name, I'll tell you. This one is called Teal Blue. So let's see what kind of fun we can have from this jar. See that beautiful color? That teal color. That teal color, if I paint on white, but if I paint it over onto the black, what do we get? Oh, it becomes blue. Yes, I'm being silly. But what fun is life without being a little silly? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So I'm just sloshing these around, adding some more color and interest to my page. Love it, love it. Oh, this is so pretty. I wish you could see it in person. It's a lot prettier than what I'm sure is showing up on that screen. But I love that it is a clear teal color on that white. But over here on the black, it's blue. I love it. Opal Magic by Art Alchemy, a Prima product. And I'm not sponsored by them in any way. It was just a product that I saw that I wanted to try out. And now that I've finally gotten to try it out, I'm sorry. I'm loving it as much as I thought I would. I'm trying to leave some areas for another color. But I want to make sure that my page is balanced. And I just have this color all on one side. We have to bring it over to the other side too. Okay. That is the teal blue. And yes, I try not to waste any little bits. Instead of dunking this in water, I'm just going to wipe it off. And let's try another color that we have in our composition. Okay, this is teal pink. Again, a beautiful shade of teal. A little lighter than the other. But when we put it on black, oh, you can't see it. I can see it. There we go. Put it on black, it turns pink. Try to hold it up so you can see it. Kind of hard to see because it's not a verbose, solid black. But I like that it's pink on top when I put it on top of the modeling paste, but down in the grooves where it's on the white paper or the white paint, it's white. Love. Again, no rhyme or reason to where I'm putting it. I'm just putting it. Because we did have some blue in here, this is the last color, and I'm going to do something very risque with this color. I've never used these before, but I'm about to see what I'm about to get. Look at that beautiful pearlescent blue right here. Oh my God. So lovely. I've never done this before. I'm going to see what I'm going to get when I do what I'm about to do. But before I do that, let me dry first layers. Look, now I'm afraid to do what I was thinking about doing. Pretty blue. This is blue pink. I'm sorry, blue violet. Just getting the first brush out. It obviously is blue on the white and violet on the black. You can't, I know you can't see that. I'm gonna wait till we get to a spot where we can see. And no, I didn't do what I was going to do. But you see how it turned violet on that black? You see that? So pretty. But I wanted the page to be a little more cohesive, so I wanted to pretty much come down and coat all of the page that was left without the opal magic on it. And it's just, the camera, I know, probably is not giving doing this paint justice. It is lovely what it is doing on my page. So I keep slathering it on. It is just magnificent. And so really, excuse me, at this point I'm just covering the parts of the page that haven't been covered with the pearlescent paint. That will help bring the page together a little more than what it was. It won't look so odd with colors that clearly have been left out of the opal magic stream, so to speak. I just love what it has done, and it's kind of toned everything down. Now my page is looking more like a galaxy scene in my eyes. At least that's what I see. Sorry, I'm gonna have to do this to you, but I do have to do this to you one more time. It's 11:11. What are you grateful for? Take a moment to pause, close your eyes, and just lay on your heart what you are grateful for in this moment. I'm grateful for all of you. Thank you for joining me. The paint on my hands. Some places is dry. Okay, I hope that the camera is doing a little bit of justice. But this is just glorious, glorious. Fluorescent sheen. How the colors have changed. And this really has put me in the mind frame, especially if I turn it this way, of uh, a galaxy, so to speak. I don't really want to call it a galaxy, but outer space, cosmos. And because it put me in that mindset, I'm going to give it some sprinkles. This is just white gesso. You can use white paint. I just put far too much on my paint palette, but that's okay. And really, it should be, you should add a little bit of water or medium. But my water jar is quite yucky, and it would make the white paint quite yucky. So I'm just using it as is. And adding some splatters. Tilt it up one moment. I'm sorry, guys. Just looking to see where else I should splatter. Ooh, girl. Okay, a quick dry. And I just need to grab my paint marker, so I'll be right back. Posca paint pen, paint marker. Now, our whole entire session today, I was trying to remind you to keep in your mind, in your focus, our intention for creating this page. And our intention for creating this page is, what are we calling in 2021? And we infused it with our writing, we infused it with our words. And now, to end this page, I'd like for you to write your word of the year onto your page in a big, bold kind of manner, claiming it for your life in 2021, your focus, and infusing it into your page as one of the final steps for this page. And I'm going to dry it so I don't smear my word, because, I'm a little messy. Once you are done your page, make sure you take the tape off, as long as your painted mediums are dry. You don't want to leave the tape on there for an extended period of time, because it starts to get more attached to your page, and it's harder to get off without damaging your page. So that's why I'm taking mine off right now. And I also want to see my final product without the tape around it. And you don't have to take it off all fast like I do, because it can cause damage to your page. For me, I don't care. It's my art journal. It just adds character for me. Here is the final page. I can get it in full view. I love it. I love the cosmic feel to it. I have space later where I can do more journaling if I want to. But one of the things that I do want you guys to do, this whole purpose, and why we're using, well, one of the purposes for why we're using single sheets is, we wrote on top before we started what we're calling into ourselves this year, and then we put our words on top of that, and then we put our word of the year, if we were so inclined to have a word of the year, in the middle. But the back is blank, and the back is blank for a reason and for a purpose. This is an art journal. We have done the art, the back side of our pages, is for us to do some journaling. And we're not going to do it here on screen together in class. This is homework for you. And something that I'll ask you to do every month is to take some time and ponder our inquiry for that month. And this month's inquiry is, what are you calling in for yourself in 2021? What are you bringing or calling to yourself? I want you to take some time to meditate and muse on that inquiry, and then journal about it on the back of the page. That's what the back of our pages are for. And I don't want you to have to sit there and look at the back of a blank page. But that is what the backs of each and every one of our pages is for. Is for space for us to do some journaling. I'm using 11 by 15 paper, so I have a lot of space. I could journal, I can doodle as well. But you want to get some words down there about what the inquiry is. And again, this month's inquiry is, what are you calling in for yourself in 2021? I wish you guys could really see the sparkle and the colors. This is just beautiful. I just really love it. And I love that it has a cosmic feel and look to me. And it's the first page in my journal. Last thing I want you guys to do before we leave today, as soon as I find my marker, always, 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 always sign and date your artwork. And since I have this beautiful border around it, and I don't want to mess up, well, I guess I could put it right here in this corner. This is enough space for me to sign it. I was going to sign it on the border, but I found space on the artwork where it should actually be. Always sign and date your artwork. You are an artist, even if you think you aren't. So remember, homework. You have a whole page to journal about our inquiry. Our inquiry is, what are you calling into yourself for yourself in 2021? And if you're doing like me and you're arting on single sheets, I suggest that if you don't already have a special place to get one of those little decorative boxes that you can get from Michael's or whatever for a couple dollars to store all your pages in. I also recommend that you put a page number on the back, not on the front where your artwork is, but on the back where you're journaling, so that you can keep them in order. You'll also be able to keep them in order by the dates that you sign and date your artwork. But a page number will also that'll be a quick and more obvious way to sort them. But keep them in a special place so they don't get damaged. And at the end of the year, I'll show you how to punch the holes and how to bind the single sheets into a book. Let's see if I have one in hand, so you can kind of get a gist of what you'll end up with. This is a book that has single sheets. It doesn't have any artwork in this book yet, but it's been bound. I don't know if you can see. Yes, it's been bound, and it opens flat. So this is kind of sort of what we're going to end up with. And we'll have a cover as well that we'll decorate. So I'm glad that you were here today. I hope you enjoyed our first session. It's scheduled for 2 hours, but It didn't take us 2 hours this morning, but we do have 2 hours on the first Saturday of every month from 10 to 12 to get together and muse together, to play together, to go through some inquiries, do some visioning, and there's a lot in store for us this year. I'm glad that you joined us. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And please, please, please post your artwork both in the Facebook Classroom and the Diva Wisdom Circle, which is part of the Diva Empowerment Studio website. If you are not part of the Diva Wisdom Circle, I ask you to please join. There is a link to that, or there will be a link to that in the classroom, so you can get to it easily. But I ask you to join there, post your art there, post your art in the Facebook group. This session has been recorded, so if you missed anything or if you're signed up for ICME and you're not always able to come to the live sessions, they will be recorded and uploaded to the private classroom within 24 hours. Once the recording is uploaded, I will send you all an email to let you know that the recording is available. Access to the recordings are there for you all throughout the entire year, and they will be there for you until the end of January 2022. And the content is downloadable. So if there's any videos that you would want to keep or need to keep so that you can go back and do finish your page or do the page again, or maybe it's a technique that you really liked and you wanted to keep it in your medicine basket, then you're able to download the video and keep forever. The classroom is available, like I said, through the end of January 2022. So you have over a year to look at the content and do the work and or download any videos that you might want to keep. So without further ado, again, thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I will see you next month. Smooches.